Hey there bears, I'm strawbeary.stabwound, and I have had a really weird fixation on redesign videos, specifically for Yandere Sim, which is very funny to me because I will admit I've never cared about the game, except for like how genuinely awful the developer is, and that one 2-hour masterpiece by Kappa Kaiju. I will admit I was very annoying about that video. I've seen it so many times. I can in fact quote that whole thing. One day I watched that whole video over and over and over again. Like it would end and I would restart all the way back. I can even quote the sponsorship part word for word because of how many times I listened to it, and I tried to show it to my girlfriend, but she couldn't get through it with me because I wouldn't stop quoting it and she couldn't concentrate. So there's that. If you don't know, Yandere Sim is a wannabe hitman and persona love child if the only love involved was the type for teenage girls. Before I get fully into this video, I just want to make it clear that I'm very much against this game and the developer. I do not support him, his actions, or anything related to him of the sort. I just wanted to rewrite his characters in a way that caters to me and my interests because I hate him and think I can do better. Not that it's hard. I'm not going to stay super close to the vibe and story of the game, and I will be rewriting it to how I would handle this game rather than just redesigning the characters to go along with the original game. Once again, this is going to be very, very different, so if you do not want a video of someone rewriting it, but instead of someone redesigning it, I will leave some links in the description of people who do that, because there are artists who do that and their art is wonderful. Now, I encourage y'all to feel how you feel about these characters, and if you don't like what I do with them, that is super okay. This is 100% just a fun thing I wanted to do for me, but I really hope you'll stay and enjoy. Okay, now that that part is over, back to me telling you about a game you probably already know about. In 2015, on a crisp September day, at least according to the wiki, Yandere Sim came out and started a sort of movement amongst middle schoolers and grown men alike. Hallways and edgy bedrooms alike were filled with the screams of our favorite grown men laughing at the bad game mechanics and silly characters. You play as Ayano Aishi, a teenage girl who feels hollow until she meets Taiko Yamada, her senpai or her upperclassman.
Hey y'all, Editing Bear here. I made a mistake and I'm a little bit embarrassed. So what happened was, when I looked up the names, I used the name of the girl love interest, which is very funny if you continue watching the video, and ironic, you will see why. But the guy's name is Taro. However, I've already finished editing everything, and at the end of it, that's when I decided, maybe, just maybe, I should check the names, because you should always do that at the end of the video instead of starting the video, right? Yeah, so just so y'all know, I'm fucking stupid and that's my fault. Please, I hope y'all can ignore that. If not, I completely understand. You don't have to continue watching this video because of that, but Taro's the guy, Taiko's the girl. It's kind of funny in how ironic it is. So yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Hope y'all keep watching. Editing Bear out.
And she feels euphoria for the first time. Her goal is to take out the women around him, aka the rivals, twin him over, and be all smoochy lovey-dovey with him forever. A basic concept that has a lot of potential, but once you dig into the game, you realize the nasty-ass code is the least of its problems. The character designs are wonky, the names are ridiculous and poorly translated, and the rivals are just... Oh dear god, the rivals are so weird and bad. When I was looking up the rivals for this video, I knew there were 10, but I had no idea that 2 would be grown adults, one having her main trait being unintentional sexual innuendos, which makes no sense and, in my opinion, pushes this weird stigma that Asian women are innocent and their nature is inherently sexual. Especially as an Asian woman who has had multiple people in my life, especially men, treat me like everything I do is sexual towards them because of the fact I'm Asian. It's really fucking weird. And do not get me started on the intentional sexual innuendos from the substitute teacher. Ma'am, you get to go into jail, then you get to go into the garbage disposal, and you get to fucking stay there. Last but not least is his little sister, who is somehow 1 year younger than him, but 2 school years behind him. Why? Why? This is such a weird detail, and you can tell it has suspicious intent behind it. Or Yandere Dev is stupid. Or both. Spoiler, it's both. Unless I'm stupid. The younger sister doesn't go into jail or anything, but instead therapy to speak to a professional about how it sucks she was put into this creepy-ass game. I'm gonna focus on these 3 gals today because I named all 10 rivals to my girlfriend and asked her to name 5, and I kid y'all the fuck not, she somehow named all 3 of the problematic ones. When I told her about that, she found it funny but also started freaking out and wanted me to make it super obvious that she didn't do it on purpose, and that she doesn't even know any of the rivals' names. She barely knows anything about this fucking game in general. In this video, I'm gonna draw these 3 characters and then 3 in the next. Now, in my version of the game, Hanako, the little sister, whose name I thought was Kanako the entirety of the script until I started recording, Mina, the substitute teacher, and Muji, the nurse, are the last 3 rivals. So, spoiler alert for a version of this game that I'm never gonna actually write. I'm gonna start with Hanako, the little sister of Taiko. Because I need to do her justice, please someone give this girl her childhood back. Well, kinda. In my version, it's a little complicated. I'm gonna say something, but let me finish before y'all hate me. I think the concept of Hanako as a rival is a really interesting idea and could actually be a way of really proving to the audience how batshit the Yandere really is. Like, you're really gonna fight for his attention against his little sister? Get a fucking grip. However, the way the game handles it is just the standard fetishy anime type shit that I can't stand. So instead, I'm gonna change it in a way that I feel resonates with more people and doesn't make me feel sick, especially as a person with multiple siblings. Hanako is always stuck to her brother when she has the chance, but not because of some weird crush. Instead, because of her protective nature and resentment towards him. Senpai is meek and tries to see the good in people to the extent that he'll be friends with someone like Osaka, even though she takes every chance to be mean to him. And just so y'all know, I might call him Senpai or Taiko. I'll put on the screen in case anyone forgets. Hanako doesn't trust that her brother has enough sense to take care of himself, so she has been put in the caregiver role by her parents and eventually herself. She resents her brother and hates that she feels like she has to sacrifice herself so often for him, even though he doesn't see all that she does for him. It goes deeper than simply feeling like she has to sacrifice her time for him, however, because she's also in love with Osaka, his best friend. She tries to mask it with hatred, and she ends up using Taiko as an excuse to be around Osaka more. She's a tsundere towards the tsundere, pretty much. This leads her to be even more clingy and overly attentive because she feels the need to prove that she's good at something. Dedicating her life and childhood to taking care of another person has caused her to feel like that's her only purpose, and that any sense of self or personality or interest has to be tied to him. Hanako doesn't understand her emotions, and can't figure out if she truly feels warmth and tenderness towards Osaka, or if she instead feels attached to the idea of Osaka because having her would mean she finally won over Taiko. Naturally, guilt rears its head over her shoulders and shuts her down. I wanted to put her in clothes that are too big on her, even though she won't admit it. She believes she'll grow into them and fights with anybody who tries to tell her otherwise. Her bow is a little crooked because she doesn't feel secure enough to accept help, so instead she leaves it messy looking and claims that's just how she likes it. I'm gonna put everybody in a summer uniform because I'm pretty sure that's what they're wearing in the game, though I might throw in a cardigan here and there just to keep you guys on your toes. I gave her a few cute accessories just to show that she hasn't completely forgotten what she likes, but instead feels they have to be an afterthought. For example, that super cute little heart-shaped clip I put in her hair, her tiny bracelets that she hides because she's always crossing her arms, stuff like that. And, if you notice, her heart buttons. For her hair, I gave her 2 cute-ass buns that are a little messy, but still look feminine, and they look like they only took 2 seconds, but in reality they took about 20 minutes, to show that Hanako does, once again, want to feel cute, but is scared to look like she put too much time into herself. Her nails have 2 different shades of nail polish on them because she didn't have enough of either to cover both hands, so she tried to make it look like a cute design. If you can't tell, it's just the pattern of pink, purple. Simple as that. However, the nail polish is chipped because one of her nervous habits is ripping off her nail polish because she wants to stop biting her nails as a bad habit. She not only wants to stop biting her nails because it's a bad habit, but because she feels that it makes her look younger, and as I've made clear, that is something she doesn't want. Now, I will admit maybe I put too much thought into this, but I do not care. In my rewrite, this game is not about murder or playing as a psychopath, but instead you play as a young girl who lives in a harsh, judgmental society who clings onto what she thinks she's supposed to want for the short-lived acceptance from others, but slowly heals and takes the time and effort to understand herself, rather than pushing down her feelings like she has been doing for so long. My version is a game of understanding the human experience as a person that thought they were an outsider and a lost cause. Ayano, after becoming obsessed with Taiko, becomes aware of his protective little sister, Hanako, and hates her. She stalks both of the siblings daily at school, and through observing Hanako, she sees the internal battle and exhaustion she goes through daily, trying to keep up with her brother's mistakes. Ayano is caught by Hanako one day, and plays it off as worrying for Hanako rather than her brother. Hanako has never been put above her brother, and Hanako clings onto Ayano, which is perfect for keeping her close and taking the opportunity to get rid of her. But instead, Ayano makes excuse after excuse in her mind, saying, "The plan wouldn't work yet, it's not ready, I need more information." But in reality, she's slowly becoming softer towards Hanako, listening to rants about her brother, helping her with her homework, helping Hanako make friends in her classes, etc., etc. Ayano dismisses her kindness as intelligent plans to keep Hanako out of her way. Ayano can't even fool herself, however, and cuts Hanako off, disappearing, unable to wrap her head around what she's feeling. Spoiler, it's empathy. While Ayano is avoiding Hanako, she goes back to stalking Taiko to give her a sense of familiarity, though this time it feels like it's more out of routine than passion as she had believed she was feeling previously. Around the same time, a teacher and a nurse go on break, and two new replacements are introduced, Mira and Muja, two women with completely different vibes. This drastic change makes Ayano uncomfortable. As y'all can see, there are two girlies on this campus. Why? Well, you see, kind viewer, lesbians. Lesbians is why. Always lesbians. That's right, Mira and Muja are in love because I said so. Also, Mira is Blasian because I'm a super mixed Blasian girly, and also because I said so. In my rewrite, there are no weird or gross moments between the adults and Taiko, but instead, because Taiko is so clueless and clumsy, he has to go to the nurse a lot and needs extra help on his assignments. Ayano takes this personally and begins stalking both the nurse and substitute teacher. However, when she follows them, she notices some very interesting patterns, like the fact that they take the same car whenever they leave school, go to the bathroom together, and spend almost every moment together. She realizes they're lesbians. She's not stupid. In my rewrite, the nurse is still naive, but it's due to the fact that this is her first actual job as a school nurse all by herself, and she's one of the youngest faculty members, only being about 24, next to Mira being about 26. Because of her young age and her naive nature, I put her in something that covers her up but might not be seen as professional attire by her seniors. She's wearing light-colored pants and a pink sweater with a white undershirt just to cover up as much as she can. She's wearing regular comfy jeans instead of more professional slacks. I kept her pink hair just because I thought it was cute, no deep reason behind that. Mira is a lot more intimidating and she handles herself a lot differently than Muja does. She feels that because she is young, students and faculty members will try to take advantage of her, so she asserts herself as aggressive and intimidating when in reality she has a naturally gentle demeanor. She has on an expensive belt with an expensive bag and watch and rings, which once you get to know her is just her overcompensating because she's nervous. I put her in an all-black outfit to still completely clash with Muja. She's in tighter clothing, wearing a form-fitting turtleneck top and a maxi skirt, but she keeps herself covered up with her long black overcoat. I also added a cute little background of the school, but I wanted to show that they're hidden away a little bit underneath a tree and there's some bushes on a bench, instinctively hiding away from others just to be alone. Big surprise, Ayano seeing the two of them together causes a big revelation within her. Can you guess what it is? That's right, y'all. She's a lesbian. That's right. It was internalized homophobia the whole time. Being born in a culture that is both homophobic yet is constantly fetishizing queer people is a confusing and horrifying experience. And instead of facing her gay little demons, she fixates on picking a man to be in love with. I feel this is a universal experience for queer women, specifically lesbians. I remember when I was in school, I just chose a boy to have a crush on, and now that I look back on it, all of them either looked straight up like girls or like masked lesbians. Admitting to yourself that you love women and only women is such a scary experience because people will both not take your relationship seriously and yet say your love is weird and wrong. And it doesn't help that it's rare to see lesbian love in a way that is shown and made by women for women. She dedicates her time and energy into Taiko, but with each rival she swears to take down, she instead falls deeper and deeper into despair as she falls for the rivals harder than Taiko has fallen for any of them. Mira and Muja are the last rivals Ayano faces because they are the scariest ones of all. They are her. Their secret kisses and desperate glances past in hallways are her. The fear of being caught yet feeling so thrilled by the love of another woman is something she has been afraid to imagine. Ayano has come face to face with her deepest desire and biggest fear. She shuts down. She rushes towards Mira and Muja together having lunch, hands swinging, her face covered in snot and tears. Mira pins her down to the floor like the badass she is, and Muja calms her down, all while Ayano confesses to all of the things that have been built up her whole life, being comforted and assured by people who finally understand her. Mira and Muja are so important because, personally in my life, older women have always told me it's okay to be clingy and kiss friends as long as there's nothing behind it, that they kiss friends and had sex with women too. When I tell these women that I do these things with my wife and I'm in love with her, I feel that it scares them just like it scares Ayano. They have to confront the fact that they may have actually loved another woman in a way deeper than friendship. They can't say they're only making out with other girls to get the attention of men if they would kiss the women and hold their waist when they were alone. Now, I understand that how people express affection doesn't always have to be linked to attraction. I know some people kisses can be platonic. However, I am talking about a very specific type of feeling, the tightness of a chest and rush of blood that goes to your head when you kiss someone. the way your body burns. That is a feeling I cannot ignore, yet so many women before me have, just so that they can hide their queerness. Mida and Muja are Ayano's elders, and seeing women who do not lie about their queerness but instead relish in it in real life breaks down what Ayano thought she knew about herself. Now, Mida and Muja do still have their relationship, but I want to show that nobody's idol is perfect and they have their own reasons to do what they do. The screen turns black, and we see Ayano in college. She's been in therapy and is on good terms with Mida and Muja, keeping them updated on her life and progress. While texting them about her day, a screen pops up, asking the player to choose the name of one of the rivals. And once you click one, a dialogue starts between Ayano and that said rival. I want this ending to be open, but for me, this ending would insinuate that the rival you choose is the one Ayano's love story will begin with, and who she can heal with and understand herself with. Now, please do not be mad at me. I did tell y'all it will be completely different multiple times, and I personally really love the direction I plan to go in. I love lesbians that seem like bullies but are actually full of internalized homophobia. I'm looking at you, Regina George. If y'all absolutely hated this and think I butchered this, leave a comment telling me how you feel, or if you love this, please also leave a comment. I'd love to hear your guys' ideas, so if you leave them, I'll totally read them and respond to them. Please subscribe and leave a like. I hope the rest of your day is fruity and fun. Bye-bye! Okay, so I actually had a lot of extra stuff to say, but you don't have to stay and listen. I just felt awkward leaving it in that part of my video. I just wanted to end it. It feels like there's less pressure. I honestly think this is a really good practice for me because I'm working on both a lesbian dating sim and my own comic, and I just love storytelling and understanding characters to a deeper degree, so okay, that's all. I made it seem like a lot, but it's not. This part's a little unedited, but whatever. Okay, so the video is officially now over. Go follow my Instagram, and my commissions are open if you want me to draw you kissing your favorite character. Okay, bye!